And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Futterneid, or the English translation of that is Candy Crush. This is a game by Friedman Fries from 2F Games, in which you are attempting with other players to take candy from the middle, while at the same time getting the most points for grabbing the most valuable candy. This is actually sort of a meta game, and you'll see why in a second. Let me show you. The first thing we do is we place these 5 bowls here, and you can fill them with anything you want. Now the rules suggest that you use actual real candy, but we're going to use the pieces that came with the game. You can put stickers in the bottom of the bowl to show which candy or sweet thing is in there. I mean, the thing says you can put carrot sticks, as if anyone's going to do that. So you fill these up with the different snacks, like this. Then, the game takes place over 2 rounds. You have 10 different tiles. You're going to draw 1 tile for each of these, and it's going to show the initial value of the candies in there. So you can see the first one's a 7, the second one's a 3, the third one's an 8, the fourth is a 5, and the 5th one is a 6. And the ranges go from 1 to 8. So 8 and 7 there are the highest ranked ones. Each player is going to have a handful of tiles. One is going to be -1, a question mark, a -2, a +3, and a +2. And in turn order, players are going to place them one at a time in front of the different things, so that eventually each of them is going to have tiles equal to the number of players in the game. So if 5 players are playing, then you would shuffle each pile up like this, and I'm not going to really work hard at shuffling them up, and you'll turn over the top one. So you can see this one is 7 minus 2, so these are actually worth 5. This is 3 plus 2. These are also worth 5. This is 8 minus 2. That's 6. This is 5 minus 2. That's 3. And this is 6 minus 2. That's 4. Okay? So now we have the candies out there. Now the game is ready to begin. Each player has a bar like this in front of them. And on a player's turn, what they're going to do, the first player is going to take 1 candy out of anything. So I want this pink candy. So I place it there. The next player has an option of taking 1 more than I took, or 1 less. So he'll take 2, for example. So he'll take a candy cane and a licorice. The next person can take 3 things, or 1 thing, or they can steal from somebody else. So let's say the third person decides that they're going to take 3 things, and they're going to take all 3 from this basket. And then the fourth person decides that they're going to steal from the third person. When that happens, the third person takes one of the ones that they have and places it behind here. It's locked, and then this person steals it. And then the 5th person decides that since this person has 2, they're going to take 3. Remember, you can take 1 less too if you want. This person could take 4 or steal from someone. So they're just going to steal all these. But before they do, he takes the black licorice, puts it behind, and I steal those like that. Then the second person decides that on his turn, he's simply going to lock all his candy, because that's what you can do. So on your turn, you can lock all your candy. You can steal from someone else, although if you do that, they get to lock one of theirs. Or you can take 1 more than the person, 1 more or 1 less than the person on your right. So this is going to happen. Now, eventually, when all the candies are gone from the middle and people have taken them and in front of them, then the game will proceed basically where each person is going to just take 1 and put it behind your screen. And if you're out, you'll steal 1 from someone else and put it behind your screen. And you'll keep going until all the goods are behind people's things. At that point, you're going to find the actual value for each of the candies. So in this instance, let's say the pink one's here. Let's focus up on that. So right now we know that they're worth 5, but let's turn over the rest of the tiles. The next tile here is -1, so now they're down to 4. The next tile here is -2, so now they're down to 2. And now they're down to 1. Oh, +3. So pink candies are worth +2. Not very useful. Let's look at the next candy. It's a 3, and we know it will start with a +2. And then we have a question mark. Now the question mark is going to be the one that's right after it. So the question mark is a +3. So that's +2, +3, +3, +2, +2, 4, 7, 10, 12. Those are 15. Those little coffee cake things are 15. And so question marks will take the one right after them. If a question mark's last, it takes the one that's right before it. If there's multiple question marks in a row, they're all the same thing. If everything's a question mark, they're all zeros. Players will total the points that they have gotten. Then each player takes one piece of candy that they've locked, takes it out of the game. You put all the candies back in. You use the 5 tiles that you didn't use for the starting values for each of the candies, and you play another round. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner. Or unless you're playing with real candy, then probably no one cares about points, and whoever took home the best pile of candy is the happiest. I should also mention that the game comes with achievements. Ding! These are achievements for other games. Like there's 3 games: Fearsome Fours, Felix, and Power Grid, 3 of his most popular games. You cut these out of this paper and you put each one by a bowl. And if you complete the achievement, let's say in Power Grid here, you are the winner or last place. You have completed that one. Or every time you get rid of a power plant. Or every time you buy a nuclear power plant. Anyhow, when that happens, you then get a piece of candy. You put candy in these bowls and put an achievement next to each bowl and you get a piece of candy. Yay. Okay, whatever. The game is interesting because, well, the fact is you don't know what the values are. You only know one value that you see. You might know 2 values as long as the value that you see isn't yours. So you know the starting value in 2, but the other 3 could be up to -6 or it could be +9. Now you could watch what everyone else grabs, but in reality the mechanics are really kind of wonky, because what happens after a while is I'll take 1, you'll take 2, then he takes 3, then you take 4, 5, 6. And all of a sudden someone's like, I'm stealing those 6. Okay, great, they took 5. Next person says, well, I'm stealing those 5 from you because there's no way I'm letting you keep 5 behind your screen. Then the person after him steals the 5 from me. So there's this constant stealing and going around. But eventually you get a pile of candy, you score your points, and you see what it is. Okay. The game itself is okay, because you do all this, and in the long run, I don't feel like I did anything strategic. I'm just having fun stealing from other people or grabbing piles of candy from the middle. Now, when you throw real candy and things into the mix, it changes things, because suddenly people don't even care as much about the points. I don't care if, well, I'm trying to think of a candy that I don't like. Oh, root beer barrel. Let's say a root beer barrel is worth 15 points. I'm not so excited about getting those. While if you have an everlasting gobstopper there, that's, or heaven forbid, chocolate-covered cherries that are actually real ones, I don't care if they're worth -8 points. I want one of those. And you get to eat your candy that you've won at the end of the game. That changes everything. And at that point, the points don't matter at all. I mean, people can say they matter, and there will be somebody who'll be like, oh, I didn't get the candy I wanted, but I won. I don't know. It's an okay excursion to pass the time. It's a cute theme. It's something interesting to do if someone has candy. It could be a game that could be themed at Halloween or Christmas or Valentine's Day time. But as a game, it's just merely okay. But maybe you want to do something with candy, then you have a good choice here. So that's Candy Crave or Futterneid.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Shut the door!
There.